Today's tropical weather update is brought to you by State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.
Pleasant good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Antigua and Barbuda Meteorological Service channel. I'm Shissa Humphreys, here to bring you a weather update for today, Thursday, August 28, 2025. Now, I'm sure you've been woken up this morning by that thunder activity and thunderstorm activity we had earlier this morning. This was in association with a tropical wave and lingering moisture and instability over the islands, especially the Leeward Islands this morning. So we had issued a flash flood watch for Antigua and Barbuda. However, due to monitoring the situation this morning, we have discontinued the watch due to improvement in conditions when it comes to rainfall. So if we take a recap of what we saw this morning, here's our visible satellite and our lightning mapper showing us this area of lightning and thunderstorm activity over mainly Antigua and Barbuda. However, St. Kitts and Nevis did get some activity this morning, and Montserrat did not get as much activity. When it comes to Anguilla and the rest of the British Virgin Islands, they were out of the zone of activity for the morning. However, as we see, there's this southeasterly flow that's bringing these conditions, could bring these conditions over them later on in the afternoon as the tropical wave or activity lingers over the islands. If we take a look at our radar imagery, here we see in the shower activity that we saw this morning, we see the brighter yellows and reds. This indicates heavier showers and thunderstorms over the region, and we saw the flow from the south bringing in that nice moisture and some welcome rainfall over Antigua and Barbuda and the rest of the islands this morning. So if we take a look at our wider satellite imagery, we are going to see another tropical wave that we're monitoring. So we see this one that had passed over us this morning. Most of this activity was contained to the northern islands, and we see drier conditions over the southern and the windward islands. So we see another tropical wave, and we see it's further south of the area, and this is due to some drier air and some Saharan dust that is above it that's suppressing it further to the south. However, in the next few days into the weekend, we'll monitor the progress of this wave as it interacts with the dust to see if any further development approaches us, especially us in the Leeward Islands. Of course, we're still quite dry, even though we did get that shower this morning, so welcome showers are needed. Now, taking a look at our tropical weather outlook provided by the National Hurricane Center, Fernand was the last name on the list, and it has now turned into a post-tropical cyclone, meaning it's lost its tropical characteristics, and this is its last advisory, and it will be going all the way out to sea away from the area. However, we want to draw your attention to another area that has been identified of monitoring. Currently has a 0% chance of development in the next 2 days, but a 20% chance of development in the next 7 days, as it has not yet moved off the coast of Africa, but is showing some potential of slow development later on next week. So if we take a closer look at this system, here it is still on the coast of Africa, has not moved off, but it has some thunderstorm activity associated with it, and as it moves over the waters, it could slowly develop. However, there is some dust in the area that could cause that to weaken a bit as it moves across the Atlantic. So here's the main region that we'll be monitoring as it moves off to see if it really interacts with the dust or what is happening with it in the next week or so. If we look at our dust imagery, here we are in the Eastern Caribbean. We see there's not much going on in terms of Saharan dust over us, which is good news for those of you that have breathing conditions or just generally affected by dust. And the air is nice and cool today due to this lack of dust over the area. However, as we look further over the Atlantic region, we see a thicker plume of Saharan dust, especially surrounding this tropical wave and this next one that we're monitoring off the coast of Africa. And of course, as they move across the region, they will interact more with this dust and could cause some possible weakening. So at this point in time, we're not seeing much in terms of development. However, there's still areas to monitor, so continue to keep up with us on our channel. Now looking at the Atlantic names, and the next name after Fernand on the list is Gabriel or Gabriel. So as we see if that area off the coast of Africa develops, look out for if Gabriel gets her name. Now we're in the end of August currently, and here we are approaching the peak of the hurricane season, that is September. And this is when we experience the most hurricanes and tropical storms during the season. So of course, we're not out of the woods yet. Even though there's still some sort of lull in the activity, there's still potential for more to come. So continue to stay prepared for the hurricane season and monitor with us on our channel. Now, as you know, because of this nice thunderstorm activity we saw this morning, I'm not sure if some of you may have taken a picture, taken a video of a little activity that was going on. Feel free to send it to us on our abmsiwatch@gmail.com so we can share with you and everybody else on our social media pages. Now continue to monitor with us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X with the Antigua and Barbuda Meteorological Service. Or if you're in Antigua, check out our hotline and our website. Remember to continue to monitor with us and stay safe during the hurricane season. I'm Sharissa Humphreys. Have a good and productive day.
Today's tropical weather update has been brought to you by State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.